Hey guys, what's up? Jeff here again to orient your fitness in the right direction, and today I wanted to talk about the topic of shoulder impingement. I've talked about this a number of times, but I thought I'd do a different spin on it this time and a different way it could potentially happen. In case you guys don't know what shoulder impingement is, it's where structures in your subacromial space in your shoulder, they become jammed. Structures like your supraspinatus muscle, which is one of your four rotator cuff muscles, if those get jammed to those structures in there, you could get inflammation, you could get shoulder pain, you could potentially get a shoulder injury if that keeps occurring again and again. And when I think of shoulder impingement, I think of more so things like bad posture causing that, because bad posture narrows that space in there, makes you more likely to get a shoulder injury. I think of a muscle imbalance between your chest muscles and upper back, because if your chest muscles are very tight and your upper back is weak, you tend to round your shoulders like that, then you're more likely to get a shoulder injury. So I think of those things. I also think of bad exercises like the upright row. That's an overall bad exercise you should avoid, because when you go up like that, you're doing a bad movement in your shoulder where you're internally rotating and coming up, so you're pretty much jamming that space when you do the upright row, when you bring that bar all the way up. So that's what I think of when I think of impingement mostly. But I also thought of this other thing a little while back where, you think of where your biceps and your triceps attach and you think, could that potentially cause impingement? And I've never heard of this happening, so I don't think this really would be a main cause, but maybe it could contribute slightly, because you got to think of where the biceps and the triceps attach. You got to think of where they attach. So, the long head of the triceps that attaches to your infraglenoid tubercle on your shoulder blade, the short head of the biceps that attaches to your coracoid process on your shoulder blade, which is right here. I feel it on myself right there, but it's right there. So if those are very tight, your biceps and your triceps, what could happen is they can pull down potentially more on your shoulder blade, and then that could narrow that space more, that subacromial space, and then you're more likely potentially to get impingement. But I've never really heard of this happening, so I don't think this is too likely to be a major cause at all. I think the big causes would be bad posture, muscle imbalance between your chest and your upper back, and bad exercises happening again and again. I think those would be the major causes, but maybe this could contribute slightly, because as I said, you think of where they attach. If those are very tight, they could depress your shoulder blade down and cause that issue more, potentially. So what are some things you could do about this? You could simply massage those areas, your biceps and your triceps. You could massage them to loosen them up more. You could potentially stretch them, so to stretch your triceps. My favorite thing is to go up against the wall, put your elbow against the wall, and then lean into it, and make sure your elbow is bent as you do this to really stretch your triceps. And just lean into the wall, make your here straight, and just lean in, and that's going to really give you a good stretch. So you could hold that, say, 2 to 3 times, 30 seconds each time. And for your biceps, you could take your hand, put it behind you, so you're putting this part of your hand on a ledge behind you, and you straighten your arm, and then you could just lean in or bend down. You could bend down so you really feel stretch in your triceps and your biceps, and just hold that stretch for 30 seconds and do that, say, 2 to 3 times. And none of those stretches should be painful. If they are, don't do them. But those are just some simple ways you could prevent that issue from happening in the first place. But I don't think that's a huge cause. But if you think about it, where they attach those two muscles, it could potentially happen if you think about it. But anyways, enough about that. This has been Jeff once more, orienting your fitness in the right direction. If you like that video, thumb it up, comment, subscribe to my channel. This has been Jeff once more, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later soon.